boy. She was a skater boy. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, I'm going to be giving Clawdeen Wolf a goth makeover in as little time as I can possibly manage, because it is Monday and I need to upload tomorrow, and I still have to, edit the video and do all that sort of stuff, which takes a really long time. So I thought I would take this opportunity to make this into like an experiment, I want to see how quickly I can do an entire custom with new hair, new face, a new outfit, and see how fast I can do it, right? That's science. So anyway, as I've already established that I'm low on time, let's get into it. So I got a shot of her next to the time to show how long I worked on her, but it looks a little bit nefarious, like I kidnapped her and I'm trying to prove that she's still alive. And now I'm heating up her head with a hairdryer to remove it from her body, and I'm cutting off all her hair because it was sticky and covered in glue, and I'm scraping the inside of her head with a flathead screwdriver. That way I can eventually cut open the back of it and yank out all the gross goo hair from the inside. And I'm removing her face with 100% acetone, as you tend to do, so that I can hop right in with acrylic paint for her face up. I am once again going for a goth look for this face up, which is quickly becoming a trend on this channel, which, makes sense. That's what I like to do. I make a lot of goth dolls, a lot of horror-inspired dolls, and, there's probably going to be a lot of vampires and other monsters on this channel, because that's what I like to do, that's what's fun for me. But I do other stuff as well. I made a fairy like a month ago, and a magical girl who, granted, was also a demon, so I guess that does nullify some of the cuteness there. But I guess there's nothing wrong with being on brand. Speaking of on brand, thank you guys so much for your love on my Chucky repaint video. You got it well over the 75 likes that I asked for. That means I will absolutely be making a Tiffany doll on this channel, and if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe. It'll be a few weeks before I can get to her, because I have a lot of things on my schedule that I'm getting ready to make for you guys, but she should be out here pretty soon. Maybe Halloween? Who knows? I have a few other horror icons coming out pretty soon as well, so stay tuned for that. Quick Randy tangent hour. Is anyone else super stoked for the new season of What We Do in the Shadows? I cannot wait. I literally have like 3 different people that I'm probably going to be watching every new episode with. So by the time we get to the end of this season, I'll have seen it like 3 times. And I have no problem with that. I've seen like the first 3 seasons probably 4 or 5 times at this point, because I like it that much. I should make a Naja doll on this channel. I've been wanting to make a Naja doll for a while just because her look is so good. I love the costumes on that show, and the way they do her hair is so fun. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I have a channel now, so I have even more reason to do it. Leave a comment below if you want to see me make a Naja doll, or like if there's any other iconic vampire you want to see me do, let me know. I want to do it. Alright, so now her face is finished, and I can get it all nice and sealed up so that I can move on to her outfit. I based her whole outfit around these boots that I already had in my stock box, because I would not be having time to make shoes today, and also since they were tall, I wouldn't have to worry about her legs too much. So I'm making her a fishnet top by just cutting out a square of fishnet and putting her arms through a couple of the holes and wrapping it around the back. I just glue that in place with some hot glue to make my life easier. I burned myself quite a few times doing this because fishnet is just holes, so I didn't really have any fabric protecting my fingers. Someone very kindly recommended me getting some silicone thimbles in a previous video where I also burned myself. I will try to get some at some point, but right now I'm just, toughing it out. For her top, I'm using the waistband from a scrap piece of clothing that I've been whittling away at. What the fuck? How'd you get in here? Anyway, so I just wrapped that around her chest and glued it in the back. For her skirt, I'm using this portion of a brand new pair of underwear that I purchased a while ago that I've just been whittling away at. Underwear is actually a pretty good source of material for making doll clothes because they usually come in sort of like weird fabrics, and you can get just like a little bit of it, and it costs like $3 as opposed to having to spend a bunch of money on a huge hunk of fabric that will take you ages to go through because you're only using a little bit at a time. Once I had that all glued down the way I want it to be, I added some extra bits of fabric in the back to cover up any of the mess created from the glue. Now I can make her some accessories, so I'm using this red wire and I'm wrapping it around her neck a few times to create this little choker. And once that was done, I did that also to her wrist just to bring that color into more parts of her outfit. I decided she needed a little bit more jewelry than that, so I'm taking some of these big jump rings and I'm putting those around her wrist because they're the perfect size for some little silvery bangles. I struggled with that hand so much. Now I can move on to her hair. So I used a hot glue method again because that takes way less time to dry. And I'm using these yellow golden strands of yarn that I didn't unravel at all. I just kept them as is because I thought that would look really cool and fitting for her. And I went with blonde because, I don't know, it has like a very 90s feel to me, that like sort of bleached hair look. And it also sort of reminded me like if they were to redesign Misa Amane from Death Note. She was kind of giving me that vibe, and I thought that was really cool. While I'm getting her hair all set the way I want it to be, I'm going to do my quick reminders that I upload every Tuesday and sometimes in between. So if you don't want to miss any of my uploads, you should probably subscribe, and you could like this video if you think that it's cool. That would be super dope. And the link to my store is in the description if you're interested in purchasing this doll or any of the other dolls I made on this channel. If they are still available, you can find them there. Now I'm replacing the earrings that she came with more of those little metal jump rings. These ones are a little bit smaller than the ones that I put on her wrist, and I struggled very hard to get these closed. They kept slipping around and didn't want to move, but in the end I like to think it was worth all the trouble. And I'm giving her an all-black manicure because what's the point of having these beautifully sculpted little nails without doing anything with them? And also it helps bring more black down her arms. That way, a big part of this process is just making sure that all of your colors are balanced out throughout the doll. Now I'm getting another one of these spooky time shots so you can see how long this took me. And in the end, it was like exactly 5 hours. Which, considering this usually takes me anywhere from 3 days to 6 months, depending on what sort of doll I'm doing, I think 5 hours isn't bad at all, and I am really happy with how she came out. I think she's cute. I did go ahead and add a few more accessories to her off camera right before I took her final photos, because I just felt like she was a little bit too blank in certain places. But now that those are added, I am pretty satisfied with her. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Love you, bye!